I know it's UFC stuff, but two things. One, John Jones announced his next opponent.
Kia.
Dominic, how do you pronounce it? Reyes?
Reyes?
R-E-Y-E-S? Reyes. I don't know dude, the guy's undefeated. He's big, he's strong. He's a 205er. He's not just a 185er that came up like most of his other fights. But something about the dude's uninspiring to me. I think I'm judging him by his physique too much. But Dominic Reyes has dad bod.
I don't know, man. I'm not seeing that in the image. I mean, here he is at a weigh-in. I think that's usually pretty telling.
I'm showing him on Fight Night right now, and he's just.
There's a link.
Okay, let's see what you got.
6'4".
That's the best of him. Yeah, he's 6'4". I don't know how tall Jones is, or if he's a true 6'4". Really, I think the beard and the fact that he's not ripped, right? Like he definitely has a bottom half body for the UFC, right? Even a bottom quarter. But he's undefeated, so I guess he's good.
This guy in the
fighting.
picture, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's pretty fucking built.
Dude, just search his name. Do a Google image search on his name.
Of
Dominic
Reyes.
Yeah. Okay. And just, I don't know, look around at the different pictures that show up for him.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's no Paul Costa or whatever, but he's also probably not a cheater. You know,
like John Jones.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one. I'm not aware of any proof that John Jones has ever done any cheating, except maybe on some girlfriends and
the eye pokes and the steroids.
Well, you know, the eye pokes were incidental, and I'm not aware of any proof that he's done any steroids. But it did seem that he did hit and run that pregnant woman, which I think just gives him another victory on his record.
Yeah, no, 2.
That's right. He got the little one too. That's right. That's a 1-2 punch there. You know, undefeated, undisputed champion.
We'll see how he does. I'm convinced he's due for a loss, and it's not convinced this guy can give it.
I mean, he's definitely due for a loss.
Okay. And the other thing is, you were talking about Nunes and Holloway.
Oh yeah.
Colby versus Usman's on that card.
That's a massive card. It really is. Yeah. Yeah, it really is. I'll make my picks now. Nunes. Who's Holloway fighting again?
Volkanovski.
Yeah. Nunes, Holloway, Colby wins his, and John Jones is on that card?
No. He just announced.
I was going to say, goddamn.
Tonight. Yeah.
What's the other fight then?
Those are the 3 big ones.
Okay. Do you want I definitely pick Holloway, Nunes, and wow, I'm really spacing out here.
Kamaru. So I'm going to say Nunes wins. I agree.
Colby.
I'm going to say Holloway wins. I agree. And I'm going to say the Colby fight doesn't happen because Kamaru gets busted for PEDs.
Well, if that's a Colby win no matter what then, because if they do fight, my money's on Colby, for sure. Is Nunes fighting Durandamy at 135 or 145? I thought it was 35.
You're right about it'd be 45, right?
It could be either because Nunes is
35.
Champ.
It says on.
I thought it was. Yeah, I don't think Durandamy wanted to fight at 145.
Okay.
I hate Durandamy, so I'm really looking forward to Nunes beating the dog shit out of that horse-faced.
She's the one that was cheap against Holly Holmes, right?
Yeah, and it's taken about 2.5, 3 years for her to get her comeuppance, but it's coming.
Dude, this was always my dream. Whenever I saw, like, even back in the day, like some asshole was a jerk, like give him a title shot, let Chuck Liddell have at him, because that guy will put him to sleep. And like Durandamy, I'm with you. She's one of my least favorite. Amanda Nunes is going to take care of it, but I'd feed her to John Jones for all I care. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. For real. Yeah. I would be fine watching her be assaulted. I hate that woman so much. Like
I'm with you.
I would be okay if it was a situation like when Jorge Masvidal beat that guy up at the press conference after the fight.
Leon Edwards.
If Jorge happens to be around after the fight hands behind his back, and Durandamy bucks at him, and he just unleashes one of those elbows he hit Diaz with, then I won't say a word.
I just happened to catch that. Why am I spacing? Masvidal was interviewing JRE today. It happened like 8 months ago or something.
Yeah,
and his story was fucking hilarious to me because he's like, Leon Edwards asked me when we were gonna fight. I started to tell him. He told me to shut up. So I went over to him and I feared for my life. I was scared. My hands were behind my back. I was defenseless. There was nothing I could do but hit him 4 times. Are you fucking kidding me? He's like, he had all these hooligans around him. I was concerned. It's like
there was a writer from ESPN, and there was this lady passing by, and I believe that his elderly father was there too. And he made a move toward me. And it's like, I think that was his breath. I think he was inhaling.
Like,
It looked very offensive. And Masvidal just hands come from behind his back and just starts going fucking ape shit on this guy.
He's pretending he's handcuffed. Like, oh yeah, can't get me. I'm a little concerned. There's no handcuffs on.
Just beat the shit out of him. Masvidal's fighter of the year, man. I hope he wins it. He deserves it. He's fighter of the year. I mean, well, it could be Cejudo. It could be Nunes. And it could be Jones. He fought a lot. All right. He did.
What did he get? 3 decision wins, though?
He's going to fight 4 times this year,
Oh, is that right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you win 4, decisions or split decisions or not. You win 4 fights in the UFC in 1 year after being off for that long and then coming right back. Might be fighter of the year, but my money would go to Jorge just on entertainment value. He's been the most entertaining out of all of them for me with that Askren KO, and I love Askren, but goddamn,
he's fought twice this year.
Oh, he's twice, so 3 for the year then.
Yeah, it might be 4 times within a year because he fought December 29th.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm counting that then. Come on, give me the 2 days.
I hear you. But yeah, so this will be his third. Oh, I'm not even sure it'll be this year. He just announced the fight. I don't get the date.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think those are the contenders for fighter of the year. Cejudo obviously winning 2 belts and coming back against Dominic Cruz, I believe it was, really convincingly in that really crazy fight, the championship fight.
Who'd he beat?
Yeah, maybe it wasn't. I don't know that weight class's fighters very well. I don't care about that weight class, frankly. Cejudo's the most interesting thing in it, and he's the only interesting thing in it, especially with Mighty Mouse gone. I'd love to see just him and Mighty Mouse fighting every 3 months forever. Let's just do that. Keep rolling it back.
Dillashaw.
Oh, yeah, that was a good win. But there was another one where he came back.
Yeah, Morales is the one you're thinking of.
Morales, that's the one, yeah, for sure. And then Nunes taking Cyborg apart. And I think she also beat Holly in the same year. So that's super duper impressive. Not so much for Holly, but Cyborg. And the way she took Cyborg down. That wasn't some 5-round point fight where she like danced around and ran from Cyborg. She out Cyborg Cyborg. She mauled her and just hit her with bombs like you've never seen in that weight class.
Holly Holmes has
women.
A weird career. Like she has a Chris Weidman career, right? Some really impressive wins and some really nice losses in there.
Mm-hmm.
She lost to some quality opponents. She looked pretty good prior to the knockout. There's a lot of parallels with her and Chris Weidman.
Yeah, but she's a fan favorite, and they just keep bringing her back. I don't know how many she's lost at this point. Like out of her last 5, it's 4.
Look her up. It's not good.
It's not good. Like I bet her last 10 is probably something like 6 or 7 losses.
She's another one that I look at for PEDs a lot.
Yeah, you don't like her big pussy.
I don't say not like is your phrasing is off.
I don't like the look of that big cunt you have there.
No. I'm totally fine with the look of it. I'm just suspicious of its development. Yeah, but she 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses out of her last 7.
Yeah, that's nasty. That's no good.
Right.
Connor's coming back soon. I think
interesting fighter. It's hard to tell though. All he does is like pretend to take fights.
He says that he's said yes twice, but I believe him, because here's the thing. There was a time, obviously, when like if he said yes, they were like, all right, yeah, fill in, get in there, go. But he's such a big name now, and he gets whatever his contract is, God knows. Like, he's getting such a big piece of the pie that they need like 3 months to promote this guy to get their money's worth out of him, I think.
And he's good at it. Right? Like half of the value that Conor brings is the media tour.
So whenever somebody drops out, like I think there's been twice, he says there's twice where like fighters have dropped out, and he's been like, hey, I'll jump in. And they were like, no, we can't pay you. I'm just making it up. We can't pay you 10% of the fucking pay-per-view that we take in tonight without getting like 60 days of you pumping this thing up and traveling to fucking Ireland and getting the Irish to fly over here to Vegas and getting the whole like montage cooked up and everything. Without the promo tour, you're literally just not as valuable, and that just makes sense.
Unless he'd fight for less, right? Like if I guess maybe that's
pay him his worth, as the man says.
Well, but he's not worth as much without the media tour. If he was like, hey, if I could not do the media tour thing, maybe he'd be interested. Like, I'll take $7 million and I'll just go fight.
Yeah,
instead of traveling all over and stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll watch when he fights, and I'll be a fan till he does. I like the guy. I find him, he's just so fascinating.
I dislike the guy, but I like him on my TV. I'm interested in it. Nate Diaz is that way too. He's already complaining, saying he didn't really lose. He's a bad loser. He's a bad winner.
Terrible loser.
He denies what's obviously truth.
He thinks he beat Conor that second time.
He did.
I've watched that fight 3 fucking times. Like whenever I bought like the ESPN fight thingy, the monthly subscription service, I was like, holy shit, I can just watch this fight whenever I want. And I watched it once by myself, and then my dad came over. He didn't know who Conor McGregor was, so I was like, let's just watch every fight he's ever had. and after watching it 3 times, like, I think I'll agree with the professional judges and the vast majority of the human beings who also watched it and say, it looked like he was going to chop him down by round 3. Conor did. Like he was, somehow the leg kicks just stopped working. Nate was limping and at the end of round 2 and like having a mobility problem. And then somehow in rounds 3 and 4, like it just stopped. It was almost like they snuck him a fucking shot in the corner.
Leg went numb and he didn't have to worry about it anymore.
Honestly, that's what it looks like. It's almost like his legs went numb and now he could no longer feel them. He's a real fucking warrior. There's that part in Sin City where Clive Owen is doing the voiceover and he's talking about Marv's character sitting at the bar. And he's like, Marv would have fit in fine on some battlefield 1,200 years ago, putting a battle axe through some other fool's head. They'd have thrown him girls like Nancy back then. And it's like, yeah, he does not belong in our time. He's a goddamn barbarian. I feel like Nate Diaz is almost that kind of guy. He'd have been a great fucking...
Nate Diaz says that. He's like, I'd be the baddest caveman out there, And I think, you know what? If no one else is on steroids, he's way up there. Now, I don't think Masvidal's on steroids. But I'm sure he's fought guys who are.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think Masvidal is a bad motherfucker, though.
I think that about Lozon's career, too. Like, how much better would his career have been if everyone else was clean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. He definitely have a couple more wins, and those wins might translate themselves to win streaks and translate themselves to different fights in front of him that are better matchups. You never know. Right. There's an alternate universe where Joe beats Pettis, and gets a title shot.
Pettis' career fell off with USADA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was the case. I think if he'd beaten Pettis, especially if he'd like KO'd Pettis or like submitted Pettis, like
I think
handily.
So too. Yeah, the guy he beat before him was fighting for a title fight. It was black guy name with he dyed his hair.
Oh yeah,
blonde.
Edgar
Melvin Gillard.
Melvin Gillard.
Yeah, Melvin Gillard would have had a title shot if he beat Joe, right? So Joe was like that level. He didn't. When Joe and Pettis were on the card, one of them would have filled in for the title shot on the card. It was Edgar versus Henderson. They got them to go out to Japan by saying, "Hey, you know what? One of those guys falls through. One of you two is going to fight for a title or an interim title." It was either Joe or Pettis, and clearly the winner of that got a title shot. Like it was kind of a title eliminator, and it didn't go Joe's way.
Yep. But yeah, what are you gonna do? Won his last one convincingly. I hope we get to see him fight again, or I hope he just rides off into the sunset and enjoys his life.
Either way is cool.
Either way is cool with me. The man's got a great life.
Yes. Yeah.